Every day I'm looking for a way to return to the time when everything was easy to learn.
Good morning, everybody. What is up, and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and today I'm kicking off this video with some coffee. I'm also drinking some coffee as I am doing this voiceover, but that is besides the point. I am taking care of the dishes in the kitchen, and I am going to reload the dishwasher. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be some cleaning and cooking throughout this day. Mostly just cooking, but I hope you guys are ready for this motivation, and let's get into it.
My soul in need of remedy. Don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough. Hiding away from everyone, I don't know where I'm coming from. It feels like it never happened. Maybe just a dream. Could it be my imagination running out of steam? All I know is every time I see you, I feel insecure. I'm unable to find the words. How can I be sure? I'm holding on.
I'm still working through that Apple Spice Terra plant-based cleaner, and like I mentioned in a previous video, I'm going to end up using a good portion of it to actually use for cleaning the floors. If you didn't realize, you can use APCs or all-purpose cleaners for actually cleaning your floors as well. It's not just for surfaces. It says it in the directions on the bottles. So if you have any APCs or all-purpose cleaners or multi-surface cleaners, you can just read the directions on the back, and it'll tell you what surfaces you can use it on and which surfaces it recommends you to not use them on. I do from time to time use a multi-surface cleaner on their floor in case I don't have one or like floor cleaner to use that's in my cabinet. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like if you don't have a multi-surface cleaner and you have something else that you're using. I've seen plenty of people use like glass cleaner for their surfaces, and it works the same way. It's a similar concept, same point, but just different cleaning solutions to do the same function. My sink was gross. Just prefacing that. You probably can't see it, but there was just like, the food debris that's just like stuck on it, whatever. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to take care of this. So I used the remainder of the green apple dish soap that's in my pump, and I put it in the sink, gave it a really nice scrub, and then I ended up using the vinegar gel cleaner from Mrs. Meyer's and the baking soda cream cleanser from Mrs. Meyer's as well, just to make sure that I can, everything gets nice and clean. I also did a quick rinse of this dish soap bottle, which made it a little sudsy in the sink, which was perfect. So I wanted to make sure that I got all these crevices, especially for upcoming holidays. Me decorating for Christmas is coming soon, so I want to make sure that everything is all nice, all clean, all tidy, and taken care of.
I swear I drank to have fun, not to forget. But halfway in, I noticed it was just an outlet. Anyone so alone. What's the secret to this life? I struggle to do right. Anyone lend me a hand?
Alright, so here is starting the first part of cooking in this video. This is a steakhouse seasoned pot roast. I couldn't figure out how to open the package, so this is me just struggling with it. And I figured I would keep it in because, you know, real life struggles. On my stove top, I have a my Dutch oven. It's the Hearth and Hand one from Target that I ended up getting on clearance for 25 bucks, and that one was originally like 55. So with this type of meat with a pot roast, if you follow the directions, it tells you to sear it on all sides. So that's what I'm doing in the pot while I am peeling and cutting the carrots, which will also go in the pot with the pot roast. So I seared it on all sides, and then after that, which is what you see right now, I'm putting all the carrots in the pot with it. And I end up putting a onion and bouillon cubes in it as well, with some parsley, a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. And I end up putting this into the oven. I also put water in this as well, 2 cups of water, just so it has a nice broth so it can cook down so it's not dry. I ended up using 3 beef bouillon cubes. If you had beef stock, or you could put that, or beef broth, you could put it in with the pot roast. But I ended up cooking that at 325 for 3.5 hours. Now I'm moving on to the potatoes, peeling them, which I end up trying to use my peeler, but I don't actually like using my peeler for these potatoes, so I ended up just using a paring knife, and I peel them that way. It made it so much easier for me. And then I cut them, put them back in this bowl, and the stew pot that was on the countertop, the red one, is the one that I'm actually cooking the potatoes in. That is from the Aisha Curry cooking line that she had at Target, and I love this stew pot so much. It's like a ceramic walled one. So I have some salty water going in the pot. When I add the potatoes, it is right at the point of boiling for the water. That way it just, you know, it gets the boil done. But after I add the potatoes, this is a trick that I actually, that I learned from a different video years ago, is when you want to make mashed potatoes, if you want to make sure they cook down nice and all together, you can do it with the boiling water, keep it on the temperature you had. But they recommended, once you add all the potatoes, turn it all the way down to like in between 2 and low. I have an electric cooktop, so that's why. So everything kind of, you have to figure out your groove when you cook things. But turn it down to that temperature, and it may take longer, but it makes it so that everything cooks at the same time, like the same time. It's the same softness all the way around, and that's what I was really looking for when I was boiling the potatoes. So this is when the roast was, well, I had an initial timer for 2.5 hours. So what I decided to do was check on it. The meat was starting to fall apart, but not to the point where it's done. So I decided to put it back in for another hour, because the middle of it was still, it wasn't to the correct cooking temp. I wanted to make sure that it was at least like medium, in between medium rare and well done. I know that sounds a little weird to most people, but when you get to that point of it falling apart, that means it's perfect. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just checking it, and I'm putting it back into the oven to make sure it continues to cook down and to be that nice consistency. So here I am checking the potatoes, and the potatoes at this point were at the point of it is ready to be mashed. So I decided to strain them, and I end up using a hand masher. I did not use my small like hand blender or my hand KitchenAid mixer. I end up hand mashing them with a fork, then my Pioneer Woman masher. And if you've ever made homemade mashed potatoes, or if you haven't, it's super easy. Get them to the point where you can pierce it with a fork so it's nice and soft. It goes straight through, there's no like give. And then you mash them, add butter, milk. I know some people add cream cheese. You can add any type of cheese to it, sour cream. I know some people that add egg to it. And then whatever seasoning you want for your potatoes. I did garlic powder, parsley, salt and pepper. And that's generally like my go-to when it comes to seasoning. But I didn't add onion powder. This is the final result for dinner on this night. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'll tell you, everybody's standing in a line for the water slide.